everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Fab Face Over 40 and I'm Lee. I'm going to go ahead and just let you know what my situation is today. So my husband is working in Atlanta now and he is not here this weekend. And that means that I'm alone with the dogs. One of my children is at the SAT and the other child is asleep. And so you're going to hear the dogs running around in the background. And I'm not going to acknowledge it every time it happens. I have a puppy who is 16, 17 weeks old, and I have a 4-year-old boxer who acts exactly like the 17-week-old puppy. So just throwing that out there and getting it out of the way. Second thing I want to say, don't stare at my roots. I know that they're bad, but because of my husband working in Atlanta and me being the only parent on the hook during the week, I can't get a 2-hour hair appointment on any given afternoon. I just can't commit that time. So it's going to look a little gray up there for now, okay? So those are my two things, the dogs and the hair. All right, so today's video is going to be about contour. I've had lots of people ask me to do a video about contour, about contouring, and I think it's because women over 40, or maybe even women in their 30s, it's not that familiar of a concept to us. It's kind of like the highlighter, except even more so. Contouring has only been popular for probably the last few years, and so it's just something that we're not used to yet. I think women my age think that contouring is for younger women. They think they don't need to do it. They certainly don't know how to do it, and they might even think it's something that's really only like for celebrity makeup people, like Kim Kardashian. She's kind of famous for her contouring on her face, and so we haven't kind of embraced it the way the younger women have, I think. So I think that's why a lot of women came up to me and have emailed me or texted me and said, can you please make your next video about contouring? So that's what I'm going to do. So let's first talk about the purpose of contouring. The purpose of contouring is to reshape your face or to give your face a different contour. And so how that works is with the principles of lightness and darkness. And really almost all of makeup has to do with the principles of art. And so this is related to that. So anything that you make darker is going to recede or look smaller, and anything you make lighter or brighter is going to come forward and look bigger. And so the idea with contouring is that when you put some shadowing on your face, those areas recede backwards, or they appear to be darker and smaller. So women will tend to put contour under their cheekbones, so it looks like their cheekbones are carved in. You can use contour to make your forehead more narrow. You can put contour up here and it makes your forehead more narrow. You can, if you have a forehead that's really tall, some women will use contour at the top here to make their forehead seem shorter because it detracts attention from up here. I've lost 30 pounds this year. I don't know if y'all knew that. And so last year I was strongly using contouring to like get rid of what I was perceiving as my double chin. And so that's a really good thing too. You can, if you feel like you have a softer jawline, whether it's due to age or whether it's due to a little bit of extra weight or whether it's due to any kind of puffiness or just that's genetics for you. Some women I know, they just don't have a very carved out jaw. And so you can use contouring to make that sharper by putting darkness down here. So that's the concept. Oh, and the other one that women love to do is to make their nose, you can really reshape your nose, almost like it'll look like you had surgery almost, in a good way, that you can make your nose more narrow by putting contour up here. And I'll try to show y'all that a little bit later. So that's really the purpose of contouring. So for me, I have a round face. I talk about that in like every single video. And so what I use contouring for is to make my face more oval shaped. I try to make it, I put it on the sides to make my face look more narrow. And I'll also use it to carve out my cheeks. Now I do have, you can see my cheekbones even with nothing on. Right now I only have on foundation and concealer, and I did my eyes and my lips. I don't have any blush, I don't have any contour, I don't have any highlight. So it's just foundation, concealer, and eyes and lips. And you can see I do have cheekbones. I mean, you know, I have good cheekbones actually. But I want my face, I think it lacks definition because of its roundness. And it's almost like it's a little bit flatter. And so I use contour to give me more shape to my face. I don't generally contour my nose. somebody, a boy at my high school, I can remember this. I mean, it's like one of my favorite compliments. He used to always talk about how cute my nose was. He was never my boyfriend. We never dated. He didn't like me, I don't think. He just would always tell me I had a cute nose. And so my whole life, I always think about how I have a cute nose. And so I don't do anything about it. I just look at it and I think, I have a cute nose. He never knew that he made such an impact on me all those years ago. So anyway, so what we're going to talk about today is I'm going to show you two different kinds of contouring, and I'm going to demonstrate how to do it. I'm going to start with cream contour. Now, cream contour is probably more dramatic, okay, and it definitely is more difficult to work with. You have to blend it really carefully, and if you're not careful, it can look patchy or streaky. And you have to be really careful with the color. That's the other thing about contour, is you don't want it to look muddy on your face. You want it to look natural. Most contour is not going to be a warm brown. It's going to be a cooler brown, because shadows are not warm brown. They're more in the purple brown family, right? So that's another art principle. When you learn how to shadow in art classes, they'll often tell you to use a purple, kind of a purplish blend. So that's cool. That's not warm. So stay away from oranges, anything like that. Those are going to be your bronzes, and that's a totally different product. Bronzing products are something that I only use in the summertime. And so when we get to next summer, I'll talk more about those. I'm not going to talk about those today. So look for a cool brown product, and it will matter about how fair or how dark you are. So the more fair you are, the more careful you have to be to not pick something that looks gray on your skin. And so that really strikes a balance. What I use, well, I'll talk about that when I get to the powder version, but the cream contour that I use is by Tom Ford. I've mentioned it in a previous video probably. And it looks like this. And it is, I've used it a lot, so forgive how nasty it looks. This is how it looks on the inside. This is the shade, and this is the light. This is called Shade and Light, Shade and Illuminate palette. I don't really, well, I shouldn't say that. I'm hit pan on both of the things. Now this, I don't know if I would buy this again. There's a lot cheaper contour products on the market that I'd probably buy, but this was the very first contour product that I ever bought, and I still do use it. I don't use cream contour every day. I use the other kind every day, but you can layer them, or you can really only use cream if you want to. So I use a brush like this, and this is a Tom Ford brush that they sold me to go with this product. So I dip it in there. This is going to look scary, so just don't freak out. And then you go under your cheekbone right here. Don't go too low. Feel where your bone is right here, and you're going to want that area right underneath to be where you hit. You see? Scary. Now you want to make sure the other side's at the same place, because you don't want to look wonky like you have a crooked face. Alright. Now I probably got that one too high because I can't see in this mirror very well. Okay, so then what you do is you take your beauty blender. You hear the dogs? I'm sorry, y'all. This is my life right now. You take your beauty blender and you take, this is the end that I use, the bottom side, and then you just press it and blend it into your skin. Okay, press and blend, and you'll see that it begins to fade into your skin and the edges disappear. And see, you can almost barely see it anymore, and that's what you want. You don't want to look like a brown stripe. You go to the other side, see if I can repair that damage I did, and then you press into your skin, making sure that the edges are blended. All right, so there's the two sides done in the cream contour. Now, you can use this on your nose. We're going to show that. Now, when I do nose contour, I'll take this very flat edge and I'll dip it into the product, put it perpendicular, and you just kind of draw a line down the side. Now, look how scary that looks. Same thing on the other side. Like that. All right? So now what this is going to do, because things that are dark shrink and recede, this is going to make my nose look more narrow. And so now I'm going to take the tip of the beauty blender, and I'm going to blend that. carefully. You can tell, right? See, it makes it look more narrow. You can't tell that I've done any darkening to my nose. It just gives this part of my nose more definition. So there you go. So that's the cream contour version. I do like to use the cream on my chin, so I'll go like this. You can see that? Blend that down your neck. So I will do that occasionally. Okay, so let's move on to the powder, or to the other one. Now this one is the one that I've shown on several videos, or that I talk about. And it's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit in light to medium. Now there is a darker one than this. This is called medium to dark, probably. I'm guessing, I don't know. I'm extremely fair, so this is all I ever look at. And so the inside looks like this. I tend to use this shade only. I think I talked about this in my favorites, but I will dip into these other shades occasionally as well. But this one is the best for my skin tone. All right, so for this, I use the Morphe E4 brush. It looks like this. I like it because this angled brush really fits into my cheekbone hollow very well, like that. And so that's what I like about it. All right, so we're going to dip into the middle contour powder, contour pan, and then we're going to go into that same area. We're going to darken that up. Same on the other side. Now can you see that? In my room that I'm in, my windows are over here, and it casts light on this side of my face. And so I can't, it's hard for me to tell which side is the darkest right now, but I can see it better on this side. So we're going to blend that carefully into that hollow. Now you can go as far out as you want to. It really depends on the shape of your face. But my hollow, you can see where it stops. It kind of stops right here. You know, that's the shape of your skull. You know, it goes like that and then it goes down. So if you really want to look skinny, you can go crazy and carve. I'm going to use this other brush to show you. And you can carve your cheeks all the way in like this and then make a shadow going down on both sides. Boy, you will look skinny. Skinny, skinny, skinny. So there's that side. And there's that side. All right. Put a little down there. Now, when I use the contour on a daily basis, I will put it up here. Because like I've said many times before, I'm trying to make my face look more narrow like this. And so I'll take it and I'll kind of go up here. I won't go into the center of my forehead because remember what I said, darkness recedes, lightness comes forward. And sometimes I'll even take it down past my eyes because this is the widest part of my face. Now I don't want to put it on my cheekbones because I want them to show and be really prominent. So take it right here. We're very minor work here. It's not like we're, it's not like we're creating super dark shadows. All right, so can you tell a difference? It shouldn't be a huge difference. It's really only a minor difference. If you look at a woman and you can see brown under her cheekbones, if you can see brown on any part of her face, that's not what contour is about. Now you can use contour in conjunction with blush and with bronzer. And like I said, I'll talk about bronzer in the summer, but I am going to talk a little bit about blush. So I always do contour first, and then I do blush. I'm using this Tarte blush right here. It's called the Sun Designer Palette. This is the inside. So you've got your blushes kind of over here and your bronzers over here. And so I take the two blushes right here, the lighter one and the darker one, which is almost a highlight, and I put my brush into those. I don't want a lot on there. And then I put the darker color towards the bottom of my cheeks. I kind of put the pink part right above that brown part. That's just how I've always done it because I am very self-conscious about the shape of my face. And I don't use a lot of blush. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say, I tell people that all the time. I don't use a lot of blush. It's just not my thing. I don't want to look rosy. I don't know. All right, so then you use it in conjunction with highlighter, and I'm gonna use my Becca liquid shimmering skin perfector. So I'm going to put a pump of that on my hand, tap, tap, tap my beauty blender into it, and then I put that on the cheekbone. All right. Let's blend that in. Making sure it's not too close to the eye. We know why. All right. So then what you have is a combination. You have your highlight, which is making this part of your cheek come forward and look more prominent. Then you have a little bit of the blush, and then you have the contour underneath, making it recede. And so it's almost like this effect of the three products together. So I do think it's important to use all three of them. I know women who only use blush. And that's, I think, the majority of women our age. I urge everybody, especially, to take a strong look at contour products. And so those are my thoughts about it in general. There's many different products out there, but almost all of the makeup brands, drugstore brands, and higher end brands are going to have contour products. Probably a cream one and a powder or pressed one in a pan. My very favorite one that I've ever used is by Kevin Aucoin. Is that how you say his name? Kevin Aucoin. Aucoin is his last name. It is a great contour product, and I dropped it and it just was destroyed. I can probably press it back together with one of these videos I can watch that shows how to redo when you've destroyed a product like that, but I haven't done it yet, and it gets everywhere. But it's a great neutral brown for use in the contour area. So those are my thoughts. That's all I have today. It's a pretty short video. Hope you enjoyed it. And please hit like, thumbs up, and please subscribe to this video. And if you want to get links to where you can shop for these products, I'll put them down below in the description area. Make sure to look down there for all my social media channels, and then they'll be in the outro to this video also. Please follow me. I'm really trying hard to be more active on social media, especially Instagram. I'm really trying to build my FabFace Facebook page. And then I'm trying to tweet every single day. Of course, my son said, Mom, you need to tweet 10 times a day. That's the only way to gain followers. Well, I don't have time to tweet 10 times a day. I'm working on it, people. I'm doing the best I can. So I would love to hear back from you on what you want to see next. We are heading into the holiday season. It's the first part of December right now. I think I'm going to do 2 different makeup looks. I'm going to do a makeup look where it focuses on the lips, and I'm going to do a makeup look where it focuses on the eyes. I'll see you soon. All right?